Hi everybody. Alright. Welcome back to another episode of Gets My Goat. Today's episode is actually, today's video, I shouldn't say episode. Today's video is actually going to be more about one of my horses instead of the goats. So today, I thought it would be fun to kind of show you a little bit about how I feed my old gelding, Slim. His name is Slim. I do this for him twice a day, because he's really kind of skinny and looking a little bit like he needs some help. So normally he is in the front pasture with my two mares, but twice a year, usually around spring, and then I do it again around just before winter, just before we get some snow and the weather starts getting really cold around here. I will pull him out of the pasture and I take him around to the backyard and I put him in the larger part of the goat pen. Now that is quite a bit smaller than the pasture, but it's good for him because he just needs that time to rest, not be picked on, and just eat and get those calories and put that weight back on. Now he is 24 this year. He's 24 this year, so he still has got some good years left in him, I think. But as long as we can make sure that he's doing okay nutritionally. So what I do is I take this great big old bucket, and this is a mixture of Purina Senior Horse Grain and some alfalfa pellets. I take one pitcher full, like that. One. Another pitcher full, like that. Oops, most of that one went on the floor. And then I usually do just a little bit more, about maybe a third or a half again. And it's a lot of grain, I realize. So, if anybody's gonna freak out, don't worry. I realize it's a lot of grain. He's been getting this for a couple weeks now, so it's not like we're just throwing this at him all at once. You don't want to do that. I have started slow, and I've worked him up to this amount of grain, and I'm not working up to any more. I have him where I want him right now. So then I take, and I actually don't have a bag of the horse grain, or else I would kind of show you some of the nutrition facts. But here is really good stuff. This is vegetable oil. This has 14 grams of fat, 120 calories per serving, and one serving is a tablespoon. 128 servings per container. That's not going to last him. I mean, it's not going to last him that many, because I give him way more than a tablespoon. I probably give him a quarter, maybe a third of a cup at a time. And I know that sounds a lot, but again, I have built him up to that. I didn't just throw this all on him at once, because they can get sick if you do that. But the vegetable oil is good for him because he needs that extra fat. He needs those extra calories on top of the hay and the grain that he's getting. So he really needs that. So we're going to go through the house. And it's windy outside, so. Okay. Ow, this is really heavy. Oh, the goats are in the backyard. Okay. It's kind of windy outside, so oh, did I leave the baby? Come on, baby. This is the story of my life right now. Rescuing babies. Come on, baby girl. Come on, Bess. Oops. Sorry for the close-up there. Come on, Bessie. Good girl. Come on, baby girl. Good girl. She just had a baba, so she's okay. She's not hungry or anything. She just got left behind by the other goats. Okay. Now, the goats are going to follow me because this is grain and they know it. But now, I've had Slim out here in the goat pen for going on 3 weeks, I think, which is a pretty good amount of time. Hey, buddy. Hey, get out of there. Hey, stop it. Okay. It's a good amount of time, but we have a little bit more grain. Actually, we have quite a bit more grain in our grain bucket. I'm really sorry for the really, really bad videography right now, you guys. Carrying a bucket, fighting off goats, holding the phone up, holding the camera up. Okay, we have quite a bit more grain in the grain bucket where we got this grain. So we're gonna use all the rest that we have, and then and then we'll see how he looks and how he's doing. So now I'm gonna take my vegetable oil and I'm gonna dump it like that. Oh, I forgot my towel. Oh well. So I'm just kind of slathering it around a little bit more. Now, yes, that's a lot, but he needs it. So now I'm gonna see if I can find a stick. So now what I do is, to make sure that he doesn't get a big old mouthful of vegetable oil, which would be icky. Ah, come on. I like to stir it up just a little bit. Oh, come on. I guess I could use my hand. I'm going to stir it up with my hand just a little bit. Like that. Ugh. I rinse my hand off in the water. Okay. So he gets that. And then I need to bring him some more grain or some more hay. But then he gets a lot of hay. He probably goes through a bale. What would you say, buddy? A bale every couple of days? He gets a lot of hay right now. He's kind of shaggy. He's shedding out right now. Look at that. Look at it. Shedding out right now. He's almost done, I think, but so the way I've been checking his progress is I will come up to him and I will, kind of like you saw me do, I will press on his ribs. And he's going to move right now because that's what he was taught to do. But I know, buddy, what am I doing to you? I'll press on his ribs, and this is just a, really quick way to kind of feel. I could feel his ribs pretty good when I put him in here. I could kind of see his ribs pretty good when I put him in here, which is why I put him in here. And now I'm having to press a little bit harder than I was, which is a good thing, because that means that he's built up a nice layer of fat in between there, hopefully. And then another thing I do is I check his tail head up here. I kind of try to make sure that it's not, because this right here, there were like the two bumps, that was pretty creased right in there. And this whole thing down here was pretty dipped down. Got hair in my mouth. So I've been checking on that, and that's better. And then I come back here. See if I can get a better view. I come back here. Oh, perfect. And I check this area right here. Right here. Now, naturally, this is going to be dipped in a little bit. Right here. But it was deeper than this because he didn't have that much fat back here. And so now I can grab a pretty good, I can feel a pretty good layer of fat getting on there. But I really think that he could use probably a couple more weeks. Probably about the time we're done with the grain we have, he'll be okay. But he'll be able to go back into general population, so to speak. But sorry, I got horsehair in my mouth like crazy right now. he, like I said, is with my 2 mares who fight with him all the time over the food. So I pull him out twice a year or so, feed him up, let him get some good weight on him, and then he can go back in there with them. Another thing that I try to do, and that I actually need to do again soon, is I need to float his teeth, where a veterinarian will come out, they'll give him a little tranquilizer just to calm him down. It's just like going to the dentist. They'll just check his teeth, they'll grind him down a little bit, and make sure that he can get a good bite, and make sure that he's able to chew grass and grain and hay and everything properly. And that will also help him keep some of his weight on. I try to feed him at the same time every day. Try to be consistent with the amounts that you're giving them. I haven't changed the type of grain I've been giving him. He's only had the Purina Senior and the alfalfa pellets with the vegetable oil. I probably should change it up a little bit, but I really try not to, just because I like, if it's working, I like sticking with it, because I feel like sometimes changing things up a little bit too much can be kind of hard on them. So I try not to do that a whole lot. He's not being ridden right now. I have a 5-year-old niece. I got him for my 5-year-old niece to ride almost 2 years ago now. And while he's been in here, he has not been ridden. I actually probably need to take him out pretty soon so he can stretch his legs and have a change of scenery from in here. But he's just on rest right now. He's just chilling and eating. That's his job right now. And then he'll be good to go. Another thing I watch for, let's see if I can get his face. Another thing I watch for when he's eating is I try to see if I can monitor how much grain he's dropping between his teeth. And that'll kind of give me a good idea as to the condition of his teeth. If some of them are getting too long so he can't close his jaw properly. Because that's why they drop their grain, is their molars and everything like that will get outgrown and kind of misshapen, so they'll need to be leveled out and reshaped, and that'll enable their jaw to close better and their occlusion to be better, because they don't chew they chew kind of in an elliptical orbit, so their lower teeth their lower jaw kind of moves like this when they're chewing. So that's why I watch to make sure that they're not dropping a whole lot of grain. He also has a bunch of, he gets nice water while he's in here. He just gets loved on when he's in here. So there's that. He needs a good brushing. But maybe I can bring him out sometime and brush him up a little bit. Come on, goat, really? This is what I deal with. Okay. So, I really wish I had a bag of my Purina grain to show you guys, so I could kind of break down some of the nutritional facts in it better for you, but I don't, because I think I threw it all away when I mixed the grain. But alrighty, so we're gonna take this stuff back to the garage. For those of you with older horses, I would just say, love on them. Make sure they're getting their good food. Make sure they're not getting picked on too badly. Spoil them. We all like to spoil our animals and everything like that. So, love on them while you have them. They're really amazing. They can put up with more than you think they can, but hey, baby girl. So, if some of you are wondering, come on, baby. I have a baby who followed me in here. If you're wondering, for some of you who might have a horse that's older or is having trouble keeping weight on, you're not sure what to do. I've said it a couple times in this video, but I'll just kind of recap it once again. Purina Senior horse grain, and maybe I'll actually try to take a picture of it and see if I can attach it to this video. Purina Senior horse grain, alfalfa pellets, vegetable oil. Mix those together. Start out slowly, maybe just a couple scoops of the grain, and then just a little splash of the vegetable oil at first. Mix it in. Do that for, the first maybe week or 10 days and see how they do. And then build from there, and then you can work up to probably several cups, probably a couple pounds of grain a day. And then maybe a quarter to a third of a cup of oil with that grain. I found it works really well. He does pretty good on it. You're going to want to watch for signs that they're not doing well, signs of sickness. Another thing I forgot to mention while I was out there is even now, even though I know he's doing okay with this grain and stuff, I still kind of watch how he's pooping a little bit, just because if he gets impacted or anything like that, if there's anything that goes wrong, I want to know so that I can pull back on the grain and oil and things like that, and until he gets a little bit better. So I would just give it a shot. If there's any trouble, if you have a hard keeper, I would just give it a shot and see what happens. I really like it. So alrighty, I think that's it for today's video, and like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.